Good evening, everyone. How are we? Welcome to hopefully slightly more. Say that though, the live was all right this morning, but yeah, if you tuned in this morning to the live, the live was a bit all over the place because I ended up with the window cleaner coming, which in turn set Betty absolutely barking, absolute nut off. And she just absolutely hates when they clean it. So I had to abandon ship this morning, abandon the live, and take her out for a walk. She gets so stressed at it. He's an absolute arch enemy. He's the window cleaner. Anyway, we're back this evening, back for a and not quite now. I'm a little bit late actually. I've been what I've been doing, I've been dog walking actually. The weather's nice, the weather's decent. It's meant to be absolutely rubbish for the next few days. It's meant to be absolutely rubbish for the next. I don't know. It's not meant to be great, and I think it's a hit or miss actually. I think I saw that Thursday was nice, and then Saturday, Sunday's meant to be pretty decent. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway. There we go. How are we? How's your weight loss Monday? Your start your weight loss week been Monday. Hope it's been good. Mine's been good apart from this morning. To be fair, I literally chucked Betty on a lead, took her out for a walk, and we ended up doing about 40 minutes. Then I took Blossom out after that. So, and then we've been back out this afternoon, and then we've just done another one now. So I've done 16,276 steps today. And it doesn't feel like I've put any effort in different to what I normally do. Anyway, there we go. So we did a couple of dog walks. Then I went and picked up. I have got some new specs. I've not had any new specs for about way before COVID. Must be before COVID. I've not had any since COVID. I've been and bought some new specs because the current specs that I only actually wear. Some people might not realize I do wear glasses, right? I wear contacts 95% of the time. But yeah, when I go to bed, I whip my contacts out, glasses are on. And sometimes on a Sunday, I don't do any content on a Sunday, but sometimes on a Sunday to rest my eyes from my contact lenses, I'll wear glasses. But my old glasses, it's actually made me realize after putting a new set on, they are battered, they are bent and dinkers to fall asleep with them on and this, that, and the other. They're absolutely battered and bruised. I'm still going to wear those old glasses when I go to bed because I fall asleep with them on. Next thing, they end up under my back or under something else and they just get rolled on and this, that, and the other. So, but they are really out of shape. Anyway, got myself some new bids. So I picked them up today. And I've actually got them for holiday because the last couple, I was talking about this the other week, the last couple of holidays I've been on, I've struggled with my eyes a little bit. They've got really dry and they get, it sounds disgusting, but they get a bit gunky. And I don't know why. I've got every different type of flipping eye drops there are in there, but they look quite good. And then you end up rubbing, and then they look quite sore and this, that, and the other. So the last couple of holidays we've been on, I've ended up wanting to wear glasses at night time. So, I bought some new specs, and they are reactor light, so they go like sunglasses. Basically, when you're out and about, they're like sunglasses. So that was that's been my day. Yeah, I went to the gym. Then I went to Tesco. I went to Next because Rachel had 4 ton of things to pick up, like some holiday bits, and she's going out on Saturday. So there's some clothes for going out on Saturday. So I went to Next. Went to Tesco Extra, big Tesco in Blackpool, which is next to Next. So I've had a mixture on there. I got the potato rolls. I saw them on some, UK's newest foods, whatever. I follow a couple of those pages. Potato rolls. I've only ever had potato rolls in Shake Shack. So first I had a potato roll. It's one of the things Shake Shack's famous for, and it is basically they put mashed potato in the dough. It is. Does it taste any different? Someone asked me, does it taste any different to a normal bread roll? Well, all bread tastes different to me. Does that make so? Yeah, it does, but I don't know how to. Does that make sense? Like you can get like a crusty cob. Oh, God, I called it a cob. I will call a crusty cob. You do get a crusty cob, right? I know, like, is it Midlands? You call it a cob, like a bread roll. I will call a crusty cob a cob, but a bread roll is a barm cake or a bread roll at a push, but it's a bread barm. Anyway, But, you know, you get like tiger rolls, don't you? They taste totally different to like a crusty roll, and then you get like a soft roll, and then, do you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know how to answer it. They do taste different, yeah, but I don't know how, like, they don't taste of mashed potato, right? They don't. They taste like bread, but yeah, they're quite sweet. They're quite dense. Like the texture of the dough is it's soft but dense. If that makes sense. And they're good for a burger though, because they're quite solid. Anyway, they were good. We've had them tonight. We've had them tonight. I've had a good day of eating actually. In fact, I'm only at about 1,700 calories. I don't even know if I'm at 1,700 calories today. So honestly, I've had a really low day. To the point where I'm like, I might have something else. I might have some extra. What am I at? Yeah, I'm at 1,688 calories today. No, I'm not going to have anything else. No, I'm not. But I will eat more tomorrow. I will probably end up with 2,200 tomorrow. Again, got nothing on this weekend. Not bothered about banking loads of calories for that. I said I've got nothing on. I've got a flipping order that I forgot I've done from Get Baked, like the Father's Day. Milky Bar Bertha. Is that the big one? Milky Bar Bertha. And these jam on toast cookies or something. I know they're coming at some point this week. So, anyway, I'm waffling now. Let's do a top 5 this morning on TikTok. Faye's in number 1, Lou's in at number 2, Stevie's in at number 3, Steph GC's in at number 4, and Kelly C's in at number 5. In my top 5 this evening on TikTok. Thank you very much for coming on board and straight away coming and saying hello. Much appreciated. Lynn, hello, Mr. S. Hello. Oh, look, you're studious. I'll take that. Yeah, I always get some people. Sometimes if I do content with glasses on, what are you wearing glasses on? Yeah, I've worn glasses since I was 19. Like I say, I think because I wear contacts all the time, some people don't realise I do wear bins. Yes, I'm absolutely blind as a bat. I've got about 75% vision in my left eye, and I've got about 40% vision in my right eye. I'm not. And my vision's actually got better. I used to have 30% vision in my right eye, but I've got stigmatisms. And the contact lenses I have are special, right? And they change the stigmatism over time. They're not meant to change it as much as they have done with me. Actually, I've been very, very lucky because a lot of people with my stigmatisms do eventually can go registered blind. But anyway, fingers crossed that's not going to happen to me. James in comes in, evening. I'm Maddie. I'm at 2,129 today. Is that calories, Stevie? That's all right, isn't it, for you? That's good. That's all right. Like for your calorie allowance, you bank some there for the weekend. Good stuff. Finally tracked today's food, Stevie. That's great to hear. Come on, just got to drive that. Got to drive that consistency. That's what we want. We've got to drive that consistency. So yes, I've not got anything again going on for the weekend. I'm the prize. I'm going to be fighting not going into holiday mode this week. I won't go into it with weight loss. I think work more than anything. I'm not really. I don't know if anyone remembered before I went on holiday. My last holiday was when we went to Benidorm mid-April, and about a week or so before we went on holiday, I was struggling a little bit. I was struggling mentally, and I was struggling a little bit for motivation. And my brain was just absolutely on its arse. It was. I think I said at the time, it was melted. It really, really was. And that's just January, February, March this year was manic. I'm not complaining about it at all. I will never, ever, ever complain as a business owner, as a one-man band. I'll never, ever complain about being busy. You can never be too busy. But, it's... and I was just... alongside, and we had quite a few bits going on. We're having bits done to the house. Also, I struggled January, February, March anyway with my mood a little bit due to the weather and stuff. I'm not saying it's great now, but certainly, although it's not great for June, it's certainly better than Jan and Feb. So I was really, really struggling, and I was really ready for my break in April. I'd say now I can't wait to go on holiday, but my brain's all right. My brain's not melted. If I've got another month without a break, maybe it's got an end of July, I might be, but it's only been like 10 weeks since we last had a holiday. So the brain isn't too melted. So that's all right. But I'm still, you're just thinking of that, going away next week. I started getting the suitcase out, started Googling a few. Well, we've been to Tenerife. We've not been for a good few years, but we have been. I think this will be our. How many times have we been to Tenerife? 2017, I went 2018, I went 2019, I went 2022. I've been 5 times. This is my 6th time to Tenerife. So not been like stupidly loads, but we have been before. And this hotel we're going to, we've stayed here in 2019 and 2022. So we've stayed here twice before. So we roughly know the area of where we're going and stuff. But still started doing a bit of the old Googling restaurants in the area and this, that, and the other. And you start getting a little bit giddy, don't you? You start, and then when you start doing that, little videos start popping up on Reels and Tenerife content. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to fight this week going into holiday mode a little bit. Next week, couldn't give a toss. I'll be in holiday mode next week. I know Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week is just ticking the boxes. I'll be doing lives Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and doing like progress sheets and a few other bits and doing some content and stuff. But yeah, it won't. I'm not really too bothered about being like stupidly motivated next week at all. And then it always, after a week off, I'm always like, I'll be absolutely banged on it when I get back. Anyway, you know, definitely new week. I'm on it, and that's it. New weight loss week. I did a bit of a. Have I done content on this today? No, I actually did some content today on. We've got to cut out some excuses. It's not about cutting out. It is about cutting out excuses. It's about. It's about. We need to stop talking ourselves out of weight loss. That was the little bit of content I did today. And I think so many people do it. So many people are, I can't. How many times are you saying, I can't lose weight because of this? Right? And deep down, you know it's nonsense. I can't lose weight because of this. I can't lose weight because of that. I can't lose weight because of this. Right? And we've got to start cutting it out. You know, we've got to start cutting it out. Rachel's on was having too many side effects with the oral meds, so you've got onto Mounjaro with your type 2. Don't put a crying emoji, Rach. You've got to use that as motivation. You know, when we are put on a different medication because something isn't working, or when we're on a medication for something that we know we can stop being on, right? If you're on medication for type 2 diabetes, right, you can reverse type 2 diabetes, right? And you know, if you're anyone here that's on medication for whether it's metformin, whether you've been put on a GLP-1, if that's like, you know, once they're putting you on meds to control type 2 diabetes, it's a shot across the bows, right? It's a little warning sign. And you shouldn't be down about that. You use it as motivation. Start using anything as motivation. Right, let's get off these meds. I don't need to be on them. I can get off them. So let's get off them, right? Now, the bonus of being on, if you've been prescribed it, is take advantage of taking the low cost of free in Wales. I mean, do you get prescriptions free in Wales? What about Scotland? We pay for it, like a tenner. Anyway, a month. Anyway, or tenner every 4 weeks. That'd be a bit more than that now. I've stopped taking my prescription meds for my arthritis. Stopped it. I decided, just as a little experiment, I'm not a doctor, right? But I've been taking those meds for a long time now. And I was kind of like, are they actually doing anything? Or do I still need them? Right? I've had a lot of things. So I got put on sulfasalazine for my mainly for psoriatic arthritis, but it also helps with my rheumatoid arthritis. And I got put on that 2011, right? Maybe 2012. So 2 years before I started my weight loss journey. And I've had so many different health things clear up from losing weight, from just general aches and pains to my psoriasis, my mental health, other different bits and pieces going on in my body, which I'm not going to go into details with, but it's all cleared up from losing weight. I just don't suffer with those issues anymore. So it just shows the stress that obesity puts on the body and causes these issues. And I'm riddled with arthritis, don't get me wrong, and I suffer quite. I've been suffering actually this week since Saturday with my wrist, and I think it's because it's gone a bit humid. The weather changes it, right? And I don't know if you can see with my joints. So the left side of my body, the arthritis is worse, lower. The right side of my body, it's upper. So I don't know if you can see, but this wrist here is miles bigger than this wrist here, and that's just because it's full of arthritis. I've also got, I don't know if you can see, but I've got slightly disformed fingers here. Can you see that? It's slightly out of shape, and that one is as well. And that's all from my arthritis. Anyway, I was just like, do you know what? Arthritis is arthritis. You know, it's inflammation in the joints, and it's just wear and tear on the body, and it's from my obesity. I thought, do you know what? So I've stopped taking my prescription meds. And you know what? Since stopped taking them, I used to get bloated a lot. Right? I used to get bloated quite a bit, right? And it is a side effect of the meds. So I don't bloat anymore after eating anything, nothing at all, right? I used to get IBS a little bit. Not had that since I've stopped taking my prescription meds. I've not had any sort of IBS or anything like that. And my arthritis isn't any worse. I'm not saying it's any better, but it's no worse. So I've not took them now for about 8 months. So I've just took myself off them. I'm not saying anyone else should do that. I don't just go, oh yeah, I'll stop taking my meds. I'm not saying that. It's just something I've decided to do, you know. And I stopped taking them. And if my arthritis had got worse, my pain had got worse, my mobility, I'd have gone straight back onto them, you know. Anyway, I wouldn't take it unless I was being watched carefully by the GP. It defo gives a kick up the rear. Absolutely. Yeah, free prescription in Wales. I know, and it's one of them, and it's everyone has little advantages depending on where they live, don't they? At the end of the day, it doesn't. I mean, I think if you're working full time and you're fit and healthy, it doesn't really make. Like I say, I don't pay. I used to pay for my prescriptions. I don't anymore because I don't have any. I don't have any. So I don't care that prescriptions cost any. You know. Anyway. Yeah, Rach, come on, let's get back at this now. And like I say, it's just use it as a bit of a motivational tool, honestly. Lee's in weekly Monday night. Hello from Hotel Daff. Lee's in his truck. Cruise this Friday. Oh, yeah, you're going on a cruise, aren't you? Using all my willpower to stop holiday mode coming early. We've just been talking about that, Lee. Have a great holiday, self, mate. Cheers, mate. Yeah, I'm well ready. I'm just wanting, in terms of like work, this week will be fine. In terms of weight loss, I will be hanging on till next Wednesday. I will be like, I'm not saying my calories will be amazing next Wednesday. They won't be more than my daily average, but Monday, Tuesday, they'll be all good. Wednesday, I say Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to go to the pub Tuesday night to watch the footy. I'm not drinking. They actually do. I say I'm not drinking, right? They actually do in my local pub now a Radler on tap, which is like 2%. And I love a Radler. I love them on holiday, mate. That's like one of my daytime drinks. I sit there and suck Radlers. They're like they're a shandy, aren't they, basically? So I might have a couple of them, but nothing. I've got to be up in the morning. I'm taking rates to work. I'm going to go to the gym and train. So I might have a couple of pints of Radler. Or if they've got or a couple of shandies or something like that. My next first proper beer will be in Manchester Airport. I can already see it now. I'm going to have a pint of Mao. I can already see it now. It's already sat on the table, fizzing away. I've not had a pint for 6 weeks, I don't think. Last time I had a pint was May Bank Holiday. First May Bank Holiday, 3rd of May. It's what we're on now. 3rd of May, 15th of June. How long's that? 28, 15, 38, 43 days. Not a beer, 43 days. So I might have does a Radler count? I don't know. If it does, I'll be having one Saturday. Might have on Tuesday night. Anyway, Yes, I will be. I'll be all good this week. I will be all good this week. In fact, I was recording my weekly weight loss vlog today. Done today's. I'll do one next Monday, and I'll get it out next Monday. And I think that'll be. I'm planning on doing 2 recipes this week. One for this week, one for next week. All right, and then I'm planning on doing. I'm going to try and do a podcast this week and a podcast next week. So I'll get a podcast. Do you know what? I've not put the last podcast out on Spotify. I've not done. I need to do that tomorrow. But anyway, I'm going to do a new podcast this week and one next week. So next week, I'm hoping to get out on YouTube. There won't be a worth the calories. I'm doing one this week. So there won't be a worth the calories for next week or the week after. And then weekly weight loss vlog to be one next week, a recipe next week, and a podcast next week. That's what I'm planning on. The week I'm in Tenerife, no YouTube content whatsoever. I'm putting nothing out. There'll be nothing out, and then we'll be back when I'm home the week after. I'm going to start doing a few more vlogs out and about, shopping vlogs. Get back to worth the calories on tour. A few little bits and pieces like that. Anyway, that's it. So it's been a good day today. Tomorrow, when's England on this week? Wednesday, isn't it? So tomorrow, steady away. Tomorrow morning, I'll be on live this 8:30 a.m. And then one weight loss coaching live this week, guys. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. I've put it in for. It'll be 11 a.m. tomorrow. And I've already done the subject. In fact, I was tempted just to do it as a podcast, but start to normalize weight loss in your mind. Right? That is what we're doing tomorrow. All right. Starting to normalize weight loss in your mind. I think everything that we do or everything that we should be doing for weight loss, we think it's abnormal. It's like we're doing things out of the norm. You feel like that because what you are currently doing, but what you're currently doing is abnormal, is basically what we're going to be talking about. All right. So we're gonna be covering that tomorrow on the Weight Loss Coaching Live. This week's podcast, I don't know. I've got a couple of topics that I do want to cover. I fancy doing an updated GLP-1. I fancy doing an updated GLP-1. But I've also, what's this? Someone asked me today, Michael has just come back into the community. Maintaining once you've hit goal. So that'll definitely be a future podcast. I think that'll be quite an interesting one to cover. Got a couple of bits and pieces. But podcast this week, podcast next week. Wednesday, 8:30 live, everything weight loss session at 12:30. And then I am zoning out and getting ready for the football. Big game, Croatia on Wednesday night. That is a big game. That is a big game, monster game. That's a big one. They're a good team, Croatia. So I think that's our hardest game of the group. So if we win that, we're in a really good position. And I need England to win. I need England to win the group. Why, Neil? Because if England win the group, I get 2 games in Tenerife. So I've already buttered Rachel up for the England. We're there. We've got England, Panama, 10 p.m. So glad we're not in Spain. I know Tenerife is Spain, but Tenerife's the same timeline as us. If you're in Spain, it's 11 p.m. kickoff. I don't think I get away with that. Maybe the first half. Anyway, 10 p.m. kickoff. We've already said we're going to have a day by the pool chilling and then go for a siesta and have a bit of a snooze. Have a little bit of a snooze and then go out a bit later. But if England win the group, then their last 32 game is on Wednesday or last night, but at 5 o'clock. So I'm like, that's cracking. So I'm like, we'll go out and watch England at 5, right? And then I'll book us a nice restaurant afterwards for our last night, right? So, or it might be a case of I'll watch it. I'll go to a bar across the road, watch it. You have a bit of a pamper, get yourself in, and then I'll come back and we'll go out for tea if you don't want to watch it. I think she will want to watch it. She quite likes watching footy on holiday, Rach. She's not a footy person. Anyway, so I need England to win the win the group. Anyway, there we go. The weather's been better today. That's definitely helped with the steps. That's what I was going to do. I was going to Google the weather for. I actually looked. I'm normally on it. But I haven't done. I think it's meant to be all right. Oh no, it's meant to be all right. Oh, it's meant to be all right Wednesday. I want to do some bits outside actually this week. I won't do it tomorrow because I've got spin and I like to save my legs a little bit. Right, Tuesday tomorrow. Oh, sunshine showers. I'll handle it. That's all right. That looks nice. That's all right. We'll handle that. Wednesday's the same. Sunshine showers. All right. That's all right. Oh, Thursday. I think Friday's sunshine showers. I don't mind. I can handle sunshine showers. I can do, as long as it's just not peeing it. I think it's when it's peeing it down all day. When it's peeing it down all day, that's when we are struggling. Anyway, lives are all the same until I go away. So we've got 8:30 tomorrow morning, 8:30 Wednesday morning, 8:30 Thursday morning. This is just social media. Thursday night, I'll be back at 7:30. I didn't do one last week. I didn't do it last week. I was watching the World Cup opening ceremony. Thursday night we'll be on. And that'll be the last evening live for a couple of weeks, I think. I'm not going to do an evening live, I don't think, next Monday. I haven't 100% decided yet, but I think this might be the last Monday evening live. Not next Monday, not the Monday after, and then I'll be back. And then I'll be back after that. Only because next Monday, I think Rachel possibly wants to go holiday shopping after work. I don't know. We have discussed it. And there we go. Right, let me scan down and see if I've missed any comments. Dunn's gone today, in bed now in pain. I bet he's knackering gardening. I'm sat here now. I've got weeds everywhere in the back garden. I need to get stuck in myself. Like I said, I'm not doing it tomorrow because I've got spin tomorrow night, so I like to save my legs a little bit. But Wednesday afternoon, I get a lot of jobs done tomorrow in terms of admin and work. And Tuesday's like my productive day because I'm not out in the morning at the gym or anything like that. I can literally just get my head down, work. Even though I've got a couple of lives and stuff, I get a lot done. So Wednesday, really, Wednesday afternoon, I'm hoping to have a bit of a productive day, like doing some outside bits, especially if the weather's half decent. And then just get nestled in for the England game. And then Thursday, Friday's check-in day. Do you know what? Even though it wasn't the challenge last Friday, the check-in still took me out. I think I was just a bit complacent. I think I was just, when I'm mega busy and I know I've got a lot of challenge check-ins, I'm like, right, get your head down and work. And I wasn't. I was like doing 7 or 8, 10 maybe, and then having a little rest and then doing a few other bits and then chipping in. So I was still working till after clock at night. But I don't mind. It's all good. What do you think of low carb? Just the point. It's just like why are you doing a low carb diet? That's the thing. What do you think of it? I'll ask you that. What do you think of it? Why have you asked me that question? Because what is your reason for thinking about doing or wanting to know about a low carb diet? At the end of the day, the only thing that causes fat loss is consuming less calories than you burn. That's it. It doesn't matter if you eat tons of carbs, tons of fat, tons of protein. If it's all within a calorie deficit, you lose body fat. I eat loads of carbs. I eat absolutely every meal, carbs, right? I love them. Right? And it's not, I don't just eat carbs because I love them. They're good for us, right? They're an essential macronutrient. Your body does not function properly unless you consume carbohydrates, right? Now, and when people think of carbohydrates, carbohydrates is a blanket term for an absolute plethora of food. I think when people say, and this is what I used to think carbs were, people think bread, pasta, and pies, and cakes, and biscuits. Yes, those are carbohydrates. But beans, pulses, lentils, they're carbohydrates. Broccoli, strawberries. Now, although we put fruit and veg into its own little subcategory, they're still carbohydrates. It's an absolute, is absolutely massive, right? It's absolutely massive, right? So carbs covers an absolute huge variety of food. So if you're not going to eat carbs, you're not going to eat beans, pulses, lentils, oats, wholemeal breads, whole wheat pastas, broccoli, apples, tomatoes, carrots, potatoes, all these amazing foods. And, a lot of people think carbs make it. They don't. Now, why people have a lot of weight loss, short-term weight loss success from cutting out carbs is for the majority of people, it makes up their calories. It really, really does. Carbohydrates make up, for a lot of people, it's a bit less now than it used to be, but you're probably still talking 70% of calorie intake, maybe a bit more, maybe up to 80%. Why? Because carbs are tasty, they're cheap, they're easy, right? Even, beans on toast, right? Don't get me wrong, there's protein in beans and there's fiber in beans. Fiber's a carbohydrate, though. It's part of a carbohydrate. So, yeah. So, the only thing a low carb diet will do is leave you lacking in energy. That's it. So yeah, pretty pointless. Ian again, thanks again for takeaway help on Saturday. Ended the week under my deficit and Chinese demolished. Brilliant, Amanda. Yeah, Amanda's on my one-to-one plan. If you want to come on my one-to-one plan, my last start date is a week today. So you've got till Wednesday, Thursday to sign up, right? And I'll get you going on Monday. After that, no start date till mid-July. And Amanda messaged me on Monday, Saturday night. I'm having a Chinese. I've tracked it using the generic Nutri, and she just needed some reassurance. She tracked it using the generic NutriCheck, like Chinese section. She'd weighed it out, brilliant. She'd weighed out her rice. She'd weighed out her chicken in black bean sauce. And I think Amanda, when she put it into her app, was like, "There's no way that it was 860 calories with some prawn crackers." And I think Amanda, you were like, that can't be 860. But we do have this mindset with food, like, it's a Chinese, it's going to be thousands of calories. It's not. Chinese food, unless you are eating anything fried, is very low in calories. Like if you go for something like chicken and cashew nuts, or I know cashew nuts aren't lowest in calories, but you don't get that many in there, or chicken in black bean sauce, or Szechuan chicken, or something like that, or chicken chop suey, or chicken and mushrooms, or beef with broccoli, or something like that. All of those dishes are literally, there's a bit of oil in the wok to fry the veggies and the meat and this, that, and the other. But other than that, right, it's veg, it's lean meat, right, and a bit of sauce. Yeah. So Chinese really, and then Amanda also had boiled rice, right? So again, boiled rice is, I'm not saying it's not the lowest calorie, thing in the world, but still, compared to egg fried rice, it's a lot less calories compared to your egg fried rice. So, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, the type of Chinese that Amanda, and this is what I used to have that every Sunday. Every Sunday, I had boiled rice a lot of the time. I really like boiled rice. Right? I love egg fried rice as well, but I'd have a lot of time. Boiled rice, chicken, Szechuan chicken or something like that was a popular one of mine, or I used to love fillet steak in black pepper sauce, being a bit bougie, right? I don't know if it'd ever seen the fillet of a cow in its life, but that's what they called it, and I enjoyed it. So, but yeah, and Amanda sent a picture and sent how she tracked it in NutriCheck and just wanted me to, and I was like, spot on, 860 calories, and you've had a Chinese, right? And I'm not saying it's the Chinese, well, I didn't have any, I want salt and pepper chips, I want this, I want that. You can have that as well. Right, but you've just got to be a little bit more, obviously that's going to be a few more calories, but it doesn't mean you can't have those. But if you're willing to, there are certain takeaways we can have. You can pretty much have it every night of the week if you want to, and it wouldn't even be that unhealthy, right? And don't get health and weight loss mixed up. Chicken kebab's always one for me. Grilled chicken kebab on a pita with a load of salad. Even if you have their sauce, right, you might be talking. Let's say you're talking one chicken breast that they use, right? That they chop up into chunks and put it on a skewer, right? Put it on the charcoal grill, right? One good sized large chicken breast, it's 250 calories. A large pita bread's 200 calories, right? So that's 450 calories. A whole heap of salad might be 100 calories, right? So it's only 550 calories for a good sized chicken kebab. All right, if they're going to put their own garlic mayo on, you know, flavored mayonnaises, especially if they're cheaper, are never going to be the calories of like Hellmann's. They're normally about 60 per tablespoon, and you might end up with 3 or 4, right? But still, you're still going to be at less than 800 calories for chicken, salad. You know, you can eat that every day of the week. It's good for you. It's more. We'd call it health, right? Isn't down to individual foods, right? You can't go and eat. I'm a healthy person, right? How do I know I'm a healthy person? Because of the way I live my lifestyle, the way my overall diet, but most importantly, my blood work, right? Now, I get my bloods done now every 12 months through the NHS free of charge because I'm 45, right? But I used to pay for it privately, and I used to have it done every 6 months. And the last blood work that I had done privately, because with the NHS, you don't get a full email and everything. You just go in and they just discuss your results with you. So I still might pay for it because I like it. But the last one that I did privately, all my blood work was absolutely spot on, right? And that's the most important thing. Cholesterol good, HbA1c good, blood pressure's good because they check that as well when they you know, and this and everything's good. All hormone levels are good. Right, everything's tickety boo. Everything's working well. So so if I went tomorrow and ate a Rustler's burger, which is absolutely about as ultra processed as you can get, right? Very high in calories, very high in saturated fats, very high in salt. If I ate that Rustler's burger, that doesn't automatically then make me unhealthy, right? And if I ate a Rustler's burger every single day, right, and they're about 600 calories, right? But the other 1,500 calories I eat in a day is healthy and nutritious. I could actually eat a Rustler's burger every single day and still be perfectly healthy. And that Rustler's burger wouldn't put me at risk of anything, even if I did it for the next 5 years. It honestly wouldn't. All right. Now, a lot of people in this world eat, you know, for breakfast, it's a big bowl of Frosties. Then they'll have a Rustler's burger. Right. Then their tea is a great big whacking frozen pizza. In between the Rustler's burger and the frozen pizza, they'll demolish a big bag of crisps and a load of chocolate. Right. This is where it becomes an issue. And if you eat like that over long periods of time, it's going to massively negatively affect your health. So talking about you know, health in isolation, you can eat, you know, there's certain things you can eat a lot of and not be unhealthy. I've lost my train of thought. I can't remember what I was talking about. Anyway, I'm going back through comments now. How old were you when you started losing all your weight? I was 33. I was 33 when I started. So yeah, I started February 2014. So was I 34? 34. No, I was 30. I was 34 in the September. So my birthday is the 2nd of September. So I'm 46 in like 46 in 2 months. So I was 33 when I started my weight loss journey, mate. Do I change my calories on the new Check app now I am technically meant to be in maintenance? Yeah, if you want to go into maintenance, Paul, I thought we were doing 2 weeks and then having a look at it. I didn't think we were going straight in now. But if you want to, yeah. Would I run and jump straight into maintenance? Probably not, because that's why I didn't know. Because I think we do a little it's not a reverse diet because you don't need to reverse diet, right? A reverse diet is when you've been either stupidly low on calories for a period of time for whatever reason, or you've been superly strict with diet for a period of time for whatever reason. So classic example would be a bodybuilder. A bodybuilder, when they're in prep for going on stage, their last 4 to 6 weeks, very low on calories, very restrictive diet. And if they then jump straight back, when they normally eat 5,000 calories, but the last 4 weeks I've been eating 2,000 calories a day. right? If they then jump straight back to 5,000 calories, they'll get a lot of gut issues. They'll get a lot of because the body's just not it's adapted to eating this, and then you start piling a load of food in. And generally, if you've been very, very restricted for 10, 12, 14 weeks, then the types of food that you're going to eat, and it can just make you very, very a bit poorly. So a bodybuilder would reverse out of their diet, basically. So instead of going straight back up to 5,000, the first few weeks after show, they might go to 3. Then a couple of weeks later, go to 4, and then move up to 5, and try the best to limit the foods. Yeah. So I thought you said not to go down anymore. I don't want you to go down anymore. Absolutely not. But again, there's a ways and means to do. We discussed in Everything Weight Loss session. I don't think you need to lose anymore at all. And if you're going to go into maintenance, you're going to gain 4 or 5 pounds back anyway. So even if you stayed in, but all I'm saying that for is we've not discussed going into maintenance, and it's not just, I just wouldn't recommend going, right, my deficit was this, I'll just jump straight into maintenance. So like I say, it's not a reverse diet, but I would probably look at eking out of it a little bit. So maybe meeting yourself halfway for a month, 250. You're still going to be in a deficit, but your deficit's going to be pretty small, right? So the losses should slow down, right? Definitely should slow down, and they'll then be counterbalanced with the fact that your average water weight and food weight is going to increase. So in terms of the scales, you're not going to lose anymore, right? If you lose an extra little bit of body fat, you do, Basically, I don't know what I'm doing. No, but you're checking in this week, so let's just leave it till this week, right? Because I know you didn't jab last week, so you probably had a bit of food freedom anyway with Liam's birthday and stuff. So that's absolutely fine. I know you might be wanting to get back onto it this week, but let's just run with what you run with this week, and then let's check in Friday, and let's see where you're at Friday, and then we'll put a plan together. All right, it doesn't need to be done yesterday. We can do it. We can wait till Friday. Yeah, like I say, do you need to be in a calorie deficit for another 6 months? No, right? But there's ways and means to move us into that maintenance zone. Don't get me wrong. I fully understand. You might be like, well, when we have a maintenance week, Neil, we just jump straight into maintenance. I know we do, right? I know, but it's a little bit different doing it for a week than doing it permanently. All right, it's just. It's just adjusting into something that's going to be permanent, But yeah, we'll sort it. We will sort it. Just check in Friday, Paula, and then we'll put a plan into place for the next few weeks and see how you react to it, how the body reacts to it. One thing I don't want you to do is jump straight to maintenance calories, see a big bump on the scales, and start panicking, right? Which is another reason about, again, it's not reverse dieting, but it's just kind of. Yeah. Basically, the theory is if you're still in a small, if you basically creep up to maintenance calories and you're still in a deficit, you're still going to lose some body fat. But while you're losing some body fat, you're going to increase average food weight and water weight, and they'll kind of semi-counterbalance each other. Not loads. You're still going to go up 3 or 4 pounds, but people that go from a deficit into a maintenance instantly increase calories 3,500 and do it all in one hit. You could possibly see a bump of 7 or 8 pounds, and that can create irrational panic. And that's when then people are going, "Oh my god, I gained weight at 2,000." You don't gain, you gain weight. You don't gain fat, right? You're still in a deficit, or you're in a maintenance. Anyway, we shall discuss on Friday, and we'll put a plan together. Yeah, I mean, we can discuss it a little bit if you're on the Everything Weight Loss session this week, But yeah, Neil, out of interest, why did you want to know how old I was? Not just out of interest, like when I started my weight loss journey. Is that because I mentioned my age before, and then you were like, "Well, how long have you been at this?" Evening, Paul, by the way. I'm scanning back up, so I get a lot of messages in reverse. I get about 3 questions from people, and then, "Hi, Neil, you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you very much." Right. That's it. What time are we on? 20. I'm going shortly. Is there a footy match on? Or is it on at 9 o'clock? I think I might watch. Rachel's been very, very patient with me in this World Cup because the games are on quite late at night. Like last night, I got the Germany and I'm making out like she's not a tyrant or something like I have to ask permission to watch these. I don't, but it's not that, is it? I'm the same. When she watching at the moment, CSI. She's watching CSI again. I've never watched CSI in my life. I'm not really into. I like true crime. I don't mind if it's a real documentary, but I'm not into cops and robbers and forensics and all that stuff. I'm not really. It's not my bag really. So yeah, she'll be watching an episode of that while I'm in here, and then she'll go, right, what we watching? So we try and meet middle ground. We compromise, and then we normally end up doing what Rachel wants. But no, she's been very accommodating with the football. To be fair, if I wanted to watch football, I'll just go to the front room and watch it. But I like watching TV about me. I like chilling, I've got a PT, and we are doing weights. Is that going to help lose weight? No, you don't lose weight from being in a calorie deficit. Doing weights might change your body composition, Jay. Might change the shape of your body. Might change a little bit of what you see in the mirror. But no. Now, indirectly, any sort of exercise will improve your mental health. Right? It will have a positive effect on how you feel about yourself, and that in turn will hopefully help you control your calories. But no, you're with your PT, Jay, not for weight loss. You're with your PT because you want to learn how to train in the gym and how to exercise. Now, they might put you on some transformation plan and give you a food plan and put you on 1,200 calories a day. That's going to cause weight loss because you're in a calorie deficit. Lifting the weights well. All right. Doesn't mean you shouldn't lift weights. Right. Belgium and Egypt is on the moment. I'm currently at 1,547 calories a day. Is that okay? It sounds, Jade, like, how long's a piece of fish? I don't know. How much do you weigh? How much do you move? How old are you? Not that height, weight, and sex don't play as big a part in your calories as people think. Number one is weight. Next would be sex, because females tend to carry less muscle mass than males. It's not sexist, that's biology, right? Which muscle mass does play a part in calorie burning. Height and age, negligible. They do play a part, but negligible, unless you're very tall or extremely short. And I'm not talking 4'11" or 5 foot. I'm talking like really short. Yeah. Yeah, so we work out metabolism. Then we need to know how much you move on a day-to-day basis, right? That's the next big factor. Exercise really isn't a big factor, in terms of overall calorie burn, because you don't do it often. Even if you went to the gym 5 times a week for an hour, it's 5 hours, right? There's 160 odd hours a week. We talked about this morning. 1,547 a day. It's very low. I would never have an adult on less than 1,500. Well, I've actually changed that. I would never have an adult on less than 1,600 calories a day. If I put a client, I put every client, when I create all my clients' calories, I automatically put them into a 500 calorie a day deficit, which will lose 1 pound of body fat a week on average. Now, if that 500 calorie a day deficit takes them below 1,600 calories, I put them into a smaller deficit, right? Because no adult should be eating stupidly low amounts of calories. It's not just about the fact that you'll crash and burn and way before you hit your goal, trying to be very restrictive with your eating, but there's also things like, there is such a thing as energy deficiency. So there's malnourishment. There's two parts of malnourishment. So malnourishment is when you're not giving your body enough fuel. There is nutritional malnourishment, which loads of adults have. So loads of adults they might eat loads of food, so they are very energy rich, but those foods are very low in nutrients. So they are malnourished nutritionally. High energy, low nutrition, right? If you are eating 1,500 calories a day as an adult, there's a very good chance you are energy deficient, but you're also going to be nutrient deficient because you're not eating that much fuel. Now, if you eat 1,500 calories a day and your calories are just fruits, veggies, lean proteins, low fat dairies, right? Then you could be energy deficient, right? But actually quite nutrient dense, right? So your nutrition's pretty good, right? But if that's the way you're eating, you're going to feel overly restricted and crash and burn, right? So you know, it's about finding that right balance. And for some people, you know, someone might be on 1,500 calories a day, and I might go, well, you shouldn't be on less than 1,600. And some people might be like, it's only 100 calories, Neil. Don't think of it as a daily thing. Think of it as a weekly thing. That's an extra 700 calories a week. That's an extra 2,800 calories a month, right? That's an extra 30,000 calories a year, right? That can be the difference between different types of malnourishment and actually being fueling the body correctly. But 1,600 is right on the limit. 1,600 is right on the limit, you know? So you're 20, 14 stone, 13. If you're nearly 15 stone, 1,547 calories is too low, right? Now, I'm not saying like your metabolism would be not far off 2,000 calories a day, right? Now, so you're basically, if you're on 1,547 and that puts you in a 500 calorie a day deficit, that means you don't move. You literally do, you're very sedentary. Now, you might come to me and go, I am really sedentary, Neil. Right, well, if your PT's giving you if your PT's giving you that, your PT shouldn't. Your PT should go, do you know what? I'm giving you 1,800 calories a day. Because you're so sedentary, that's putting you in a 200 calorie a day deficit. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your arse moving a bit more. You're 20 years old, right? So you're 14 stone 13. I don't know if you've got any mobility issues or disabilities, right? But I'm saying I'm just in a generic way that you haven't, right? So if I was like, right, you want to lose a pound a week, you need to increase your calorie burn by 300 calories a day, right? So but I'm not going to give you an unhealthy amount of calories. And I do that with a lot of my clients. You know, I do that with a lot of people that come on board with me. I'll put them in a small deficit and I'll say, right, you want to optimize the losses, right? On this, you lose 2 stone in a year, right? You want to lose 4 stone in a year. We're not going to restrict your calories. You're going to burn more, right? And that's down to you to do that, you know. Mate, I'm 11 stone 2. How much should I eat to maintain? I'm 53, a male, height 5'9". I don't give calorie allowances out online. If anyone wants the calories breaking down, come sign up to my plan and I'll give you a full calorie breakdown. I'll give you a plan to follow. You'll work with me for 3 months, right? And then we'll get you in the right spot. Whether you're trying to maintain or you're trying to lose, right? At least you know you're doing it right. And then after 3 months, you can fly the nest and then you know you're doing it right. Yeah. But yeah, I don't do free calorie allowances online. That's just a joke. That's a joke to like you're giving out specific nutritional information to people willy-nilly. No tar. Right, Belgium and Egypt is on the moment. I'm going to go watch Belgium and Egypt. Are there any? I like watching teams where Man United have got players in that team, just because it gives you a bit of something. I'm sure everyone's the same. You know, there's probably a lot of Liverpool. I know he doesn't play for Liverpool. Everyone's just left, but a lot of Liverpool fans probably watch Mo Salah because he plays for Egypt. I don't think we've got. I'm going to say Marouane Fellaini. He's not played for United for years. And we've got Seny Lomans, but I think he's third choice for Belgium. Which certainly he won't be Courtois in number 1. Going to United's team now, and we're like, you didn't realise he wasn't Belgian. It was Belgium. No, I don't think we've got any other Belgian players other than Seny Lomans at the moment. And we've got no Egyptian players. So I watched Morocco the other night against Brazil. I wanted to win because Nice Mazraoui plays. You might be like, really? Is that how you watch international football? Yeah, why not? Why the hell not? Right, guys, I'm going. It's been a pleasure as always. I'll be back in the morning. So what time are we on now? We're 8:30 now. I'll be back in 12 hours. 12 hours, I'll be back here. If you come on plan, join the community. I'll be back at 8:30 and I'll be back at 11 a.m. tomorrow for a second live. Anyway, enjoy your Monday night, whatever you're doing. I know it's 8:30. You probably haven't got a bed deal. I am. That's exactly where I'm going now. I'm going to get a can of Pepsi Max Tropical. I'm going to get in bed and I'm going to chill my beans for an hour or two before going to sleep. I will see you all, if you are free, 8:30 tomorrow morning. TikTok, I'm going to sign off to you first. And Facebook, YouTube, I'm going to sign off to you second. Enjoy the rest of your night.